You are listening to the B.I.G Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
Big up, big up, big up.
2 weeks in a row, right around the same time. We playing with fire now. Yeah,
Don't play with us.
Playing with fire. Jay, we did this for you.
Don't play in our face.
We know, Jay, you back at work. You know what I mean? Back at work every day and need something to listen to. We got you. We dropping them every week. I'm Calvin. That's my guy,
Jay, I, as a matter of fact, as I was preparing today, I got some statistics. So you're going to love this show. I got numbers, Jay.
You can listen to it while you working. It's going to be like you floating on the clouds, son.
Right, son.
Right now, we live on YouTube. We'll be on all the podcast platforms. And if you have Spotify, you'll get to see our beautiful mugs and our beautiful faces. Anyway, what's going on, Garland?
Feeling great, man. This weather, I think we're heading into spring. I don't know if we're going to get the fourth winter or not. And so last week, we got some winterish days. It was kind of cold and rainy. It's been a little warm. But all things are good, man. Just rolling along, boy. The home team ain't doing that well. We're going to talk about that later. But, you know, I can't complain. Draft tomorrow. So we're going to talk a little draft today, a couple other things as well. What about yourself?
Chilling, man. You know, I had Easter weekend. The last minute, the kids came over and the landlord came over. We did a little quick Easter egg hunt for him. I got to post some of the video we took. He was running around the yard finding his little eggs and shit.
You know, it was a one-man Easter egg hunt?
One-man Easter egg hunt. He got them all. It was 12 of them. Then he sat down and karate chopped them open and was getting out his money and his candy. You know how he do.
Landlord, did he have his drill in his hand trying to drill through him? Landlord.
Not this time.
Our brother, you could tell he running a racket on his grandparents. He be in Tim's all the time. He be in Butters every day. Every time I see him, he got Butters on. He got his hair straight. He got the straight back, so he got the sides and stuff. He be sleeping in the car with his little drill. Yeah, all right, the landlord. Son, he was hanging out. Where was he taking picture that day? He was just hanging out on the street. They had him out. He was near Drew Hill Park. That's right. He was near the reservoir. I'm like, look at him. They done turned this boy into a little baby Gap model. The landlord.
That's his mom. It's more. It's not even baby Gap. It's Sheen. It's that Sheen.
He got that Sheen. Well, she better hurry up and get it because you know China about to pay that 200% tariff. So that Sheen ain't gonna be so sheeny no more.
They already said they going up. Sheen and whatever the other one is. I can't remember the name of it.
Temu.
Temu. They said they going up. They going up. So get it now. They said starting in May they going up. So you know.
Yeah. He be tight. So yeah, he a thug, y'all. He be living thug like he a YN. Every time I see the landlord, I be like, that's a little YN right there.
Super YN.
Yeah. He be YN, yo. I'm like, yeah, that's that little man. He gonna be running daycare real soon.
He already running preschool.
Right.
He already running.
Bring that juice over here.
What they call it? It ain't even preschool. I don't even know what it's the preschool.
Pre.
Head start. That's what
Head start.
Head start.
Mm-hmm. Bring that extra juice over here. Bring that juice over here. Be giving that juice to nobody else. Anyway, I ain't gonna put that on the landlord. He a sweetheart.
Most of the time.
Man, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Let's start off with some NFL big draft tomorrow. Calvin and I, we got, we're going to be at Ravens headquarters. Psych. We're going to be down at M&T with the rest of the paid customers.
Be down there.
Watching the draft. Hopefully I stay awake. I'm going to have to find somewhere to take a nap. You know, Calvin, about 10 o'clock. No, about 9 o'clock. Old boy start yawning and whatnot. Hopefully the draft will go fast and they get to that what the Ravens pick at 26. Hopefully hopefully they get down there real fast because I don't want to be looking up at midnight. I'm still sitting there like who they gonna take.
I think we were there last year until about probably about midnight.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Yeah, we watched the whole first round though, but
Right.
I mean the Ravens picked towards the end. It took some time.
Yeah,
It took some
I
time.
might bring a blanket and stuff. I don't know if I will make it to the
Well, it's
pick.
in the club level, so I can navigate you if you want to go
Right,
to the rest area.
right. Yeah, I
You
might
know,
need to catch a
I
little
know,
nap.
I know
Big
that
boy.
spot. I know that. That's where me and the wife stomp around, so I can
Yeah.
show you the.
Right, yeah, club level Cal. Show me where you sit at, Cal. You're sweet, so I can take a little cat nap. I might have to, make sure that the CPAP is really revved up tonight, so I get a good rest, so I'm ready for tomorrow. And so, man, most mock drafts they have the Titans taking Cam Ward with the first pick of the 2025 draft. But with that being all done, let's have some kind of B.I.G predictions on other happenings in the draft. And so I was listening, preparing for tonight, and a couple of the draft people were saying, the reason why we have not seen a lot of trades in this draft, as a matter of fact, we have not seen anyone make any trades of their first round picks because the belief is there's a lot of value in the second round. So teams don't necessarily want to move up because they feel that there's a lot of value in the second and third round. And so they're willing to just stay where they are and let players drop to them. And so that's why we haven't seen a lot of movement. We did see some news today on ESPN that the Giants and the Browns, they have gotten some offers. Titans, we have not heard any shaking on Cam Ward, so it's really assumed that Cam Ward would be number one. But let me ask you this: Shador Sanders, he's kind of sliding up and down. They say he has a delta between the second pick and the 21st pick, or maybe even sliding into the second round. So let me ask you this, Calvin: Will Shador or will he not be drafted in the first round? Will Shador not be drafted in the first round?
I have him being drafted in the first round.
Okay, who you saying he going to?
I don't think he's getting past New Orleans. If he does happen to get past New Orleans, the Pittsburgh Steelers have to pick him up. They absolutely have to. But we talked about last week. I told you David Carr's arm's about to fall off, so they're going to have to do something. Now they have other options to go, but Shador would be the
Right.
second best quarterback option in the draft. So I
Yep, they
think
still got Taysom Hills there.
no, they
Did they
released
let
Taysom
Taysom
Hill.
Hill go?
Yeah, they
Are you
released.
certain about this
I'm
now?
almost
Taysom
certain that they released him.
Hill.
Let me
Let's see.
yeah, take a look and see. I'm almost certain.
Taysom is still there.
You sure? I thought they
I'm
released him.
positive. Yep, I'm looking at it right now. Taysom's still there. So they got Taysom
Fuck
Hill. They
him
had
anyway. I
the
don't like it.
Spencer Rattler, the guy that was on the Netflix show. He's there. And I think they had somebody else. Spencer Rattler played a lot last year. Not that they think they're going to make the playoffs with Spencer. Um, and the last time when we talked about this last week, I was feeling that way too. I felt that there were at least three teams in the top 10 picks that needed a quarterback: Browns, Giants, and Saints. I'm believing that the Browns really want to go with someone who's a little bit more explosive on the outside. I mean, they still are on the hook for Watson's contract for the next two seasons, and
Mhm.
so they still have that to pay. Drafting the quarterback that high, having to pay that much money, and you still got someone that you got to hold on to for 2 years. That's guaranteed money. They probably don't want to do that. The Giants that did go out and get Russ, and as much as Russ Wilson is washed, he did help the Steelers get to the playoffs last year. They got Jameis as a backup. They may not want to go that high for a quarterback as well. The cost. I think the Steelers at 21 make a lot of sense for him. And so I'm going to go with you. I don't think he gets out of the first round, but I do think he's not going to go in the top 10. And so I do believe first round is his destination. I think it's low in the first round. I think if he gets down in the 20s, we might see some teams try to jump up. Um, unless the Steelers come out tomorrow and say Aaron Rodgers has signed with them, then I think he's definitely going to go to Pittsburgh. As you go further down, that's probably the team that needs a quarterback the most. And so I think Shador will be drafted in the first round. I think it's going to be a low fast first round. As a matter of fact, I think the Ringer, we talked about this a couple weeks ago as well. The Ringer had him at 21 to the Steelers, and they've had him in the mock that way for the last several weeks. I looked at a mock today. I think it was Todd McShay. Todd McShay didn't even have him in the first round. And so I think, as the days go a little bit further, Shador drops a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think you take any other quarterback. I mean, I don't think you take Jackson Dart over Shador. And I've seen that in the mock, and I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, if you're going to take a quarterback late first round, you're going to take Shador.
I wouldn't be surprised if, because I also thought the Browns had a chance of taking him, but I wouldn't be surprised to see, and as you mentioned, they were receiving trade offers. I'm not surprised to see or predict the Browns actually trading out of that number 2 spot. I don't think they're sold on Travis Hunter for whatever reason. I don't think they're sold on Travis Hunter.
Wow.
They should be, but I don't think they are. I think, well, let me back up. I think they think he's a great player, but I think, like you're saying, they're more financially cash strapped than anything else. And if they could trade down and get more picks and possibly build up everything else, because they have a quarterback problem. I mean, you're going into the season with Joe Flacco and what's his face
Kenny
from the
Pickett.
Steelers, Kenny Pickett. You're going into you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
they'll probably let those guys just ride it out, but they're going to have to build up everything else around them. Just to at least when they get from under the Watson contract, they can have an attractive team for a veteran quarterback to say, okay, I'll go play with you all, So I could see him doing that. Although Travis Hunter would be a big piece, and in 2 years, that would look good to another quarterback going to
As
that
a matter of
guy.
fact, man, that goes right into my next question. I was going to ask who will be drafted first, Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter? So, according to you, if we go with your logic, you think Abdul will go before
I
Travis.
do, I do, I do, I do.
Okay.
Well, uh, and it would just be, for me saying that, it would just be a need game. If that's only if the Browns trade out of that position. If the Browns stay in that position, they don't really have a choice but to draft Travis Hunter. I mean, fan base would kill him if they didn't.
Yeah, I do think Travis is going to go before Abdul. I mean, Cleveland, they have Miles Garrett. They have some good pieces there defensively. I think adding Abdul Carter doesn't necessarily push them over the top. I think getting Travis in there is a piece that helps them build towards going over the top, becoming more solid offensively. He's a unicorn. And I think initially he's going to start off at wide receiver, and they'll give him some limited snaps, probably in some dime packages and some nickel packages on defense. But he's much more valuable to them. Teaming him up with Jarrett Judy, that's a formidable wide receiver room right there. Along with your boy, the tight end, who I think is
And
he's
Joku,
Cheeks and Guku, but
yo,
you know,
Joku just stays injured. He's actually a pretty good tight end. I don't know why you call that man
Cheeks.
Cheeks. He's
Cheeks.
not.
That man is Cheeks. The words of Bomani. Cheeks, I tell you, Cheeks. That man is Cheeks. And so, all right, so you saying Abdul will go before Travis, and I'm
It
saying
just
Travis will go before
it just depends if the Browns trade out of that spot. That
Abdul.
that's
Okay.
the only way I would see that, if they trade out of that spot.
Okay. Speaking about trades, will Mark Andrews be traded tomorrow?
It's not in the Ravens. Well, they did deal with Marquise Brown, but it's really not in the Ravens' DNA to do that. The Ravens do show a bit of loyalty to their players. I will
Hmm.
say that, but I still wouldn't put it past them to do so.
Yes or no, my friend? Yes or no? Will Mark Andrews be traded tomorrow? Yes or no?
Uh,
This is a yes or no question, not gray area. Yes or no?
I mean, they could trade him to the Browns. They would never do that.
They would never do that.
No, he will not be traded
No.
tomorrow.
Okay. Fantastic. I agree with you because to me, the price tag is going to be high. If you want Mark Andrews from me, I want your first rounder. I don't want your second and your third. I want your first.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so Mark
And
Andrews
a player. And a
yeah,
player.
and a player. He's a top 3 tight end in this league. no lower than top five.
Top five. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
top three. Top five.
Oh, come on. All right, Kittle, Kelsey, and then who's third?
Well, you got Laporte out there. You got the Raiders boy out there that came on strong last season. You got the Cardinals
Are
boy
you
out
are
there.
are you saying they're better than Mark Andrews?
Last year they were absolutely better than Mark Andrews. Yeah,
Mark Andrews had 11 touchdowns last year. You
no,
know that,
they
right?
were but they were the dude on the Raiders was probably the best tight end in the season. Maybe not Laporta. Laporta didn't have a good year last year. Tight ends were actually down last year, so. Mark Andrews did come on strong at the end of the season. I can't. Brock Bowers. Bowers was the number one tight end last year.
So you
Um,
saying I'm saying just in when you're looking at careers, Mark Andrews, Kelsey,
yeah,
and
if
Kittle.
yeah. You're looking at career,
I mean,
absolutely,
that's like Willie,
absolutely,
Mickey, and the
yeah,
Duke right there.
absolutely.
All right, all right. I'm getting ready to fight you on this
I'm
one,
going. I'm
boy.
just going by last season because
All right.
you're only trading him based on what happened, what he did last season. You're not
Yeah,
basically trading him.
and to me, outside of the playoff game with the fumble and the drop, I mean, he had a great season.
He had a great second half of the season.
Oh my God, are you serious? Are you
Yeah.
serious right now?
Which made up for everything. If you remember, first half of the season, first few games, we were all like, "Where's Mark Andrews? Where's
Yeah, and then he came on
he
like
came on like
wildfire.
gangbusters?"
Yeah, it came on like
Like
gangbusters towards the end of the
he
season.
did, he did,
Last season he
he did.
played in all 17 games. He started 13 of them. He had 55 receptions for 673 yards. He had 11 touchdowns. He
At one
led the
point, he
Ravens
led.
with receiving touchdowns.
At one point, he led all tight ends with touchdowns. At one
Yeah,
point last season,
I can really say, come on, bro. Come on,
Oreo
bro.
Oreo scored 3-1. Um,
Oh God! All right. So anyway, let's keep on going. It's just in the postseason that it doesn't look all that great, but nonetheless. All right. So will Trey Hendrickson be traded? He's at an impasse with the Bengals. They've decided to spend all their money on three players. I don't know if they're going to be able to pay anyone else to be on that team.
they
Um,
cannot.
yeah. And so, do you think Trey Hendrickson is a draft move?
The Bengals are going to Bengal. Yes. Well, see, he's gonna command a lot also.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Led the NFL in sacks last year.
yeah, he's gonna command a lot also. I see him being moved, but I don't see him being moved tomorrow.
Okay. He's not a first day move, maybe a second.
Maybe I think the Bengals are going to try to make him a first day move, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe a second day. Maybe a
Okay.
second
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be traded. Like you said, they're going to Bengal. I think they're going to hold on to him, try to, maybe have him play this year, and then he's going to walk for nothing. That this is what the Bengals do,
day. Sounds
and
about right.
so yeah, it sounds about right for the Bengals. And finally, will our boy ayahuasca Aaron Rodgers, is he going to sign with the Steelers?
If I'm the Steelers, I wouldn't let him sign. Like I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's been dragging them along. Um, the fan base doesn't want him, but they need a quarterback. No, I think Mike Tomlin's going to hold
No.
ground,
All right.
hold ground, and be like, "No, I'm not. You're not. We're not your. We're not your next option. We got to be the main player."
Right. I agree with you. If they draft Sanders, and he's not going to sign there,
Absolutely.
unless they announce that signing right at the beginning of the draft. I mean, if they come on like last year, what they came on with Lamar was right at the beginning of the draft. They announced his new contract and all those things. If they don't come on and saying, breaking news, Adam Schefter is reporting that he's signing with the Steelers, then no, they're going to go ahead and go with Shador, and they're just going to move on. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little Major League Baseball. Talk about the home team, and we've been having a lot of consternation about them. We went to the game Saturday, saw a lot of things that are kind of alarming. The Orioles, they are currently 9-13 and in fourth place in the AL East. They have lost five of their last 10, and they've only scored 2 runs total in the last 2 games. On Sunday, they lost 24-2. And last night they were one hit and lost 7-0 to the Washington Nationals. Let me give you some numbers, and Jay, these numbers are for you as well. ERA 6.11. That is Baltimore's ERA for its starting pitchers. It's the worst in baseball. 1.60. That's the whip for the Orioles starters. That stands for the number on average of walks and hits allowed per inning. And so that number 1.6 means that there are almost 2 base runners per inning against the Orioles starters. And we saw that Saturday. As a matter of fact, we were saying that as we were talking to each other at the game. It was like every inning there was at least a walk or a couple singles where the Orioles starters had to really work out of runners on bases jams. And so that was evident in the game that we saw Saturday, although they won. 47.6%. That's the percentage of games in which Orioles starters have completed fewer than 5 innings. It's happened in 10 of Baltimore's 21 games. We saw that Saturday as well. They called up the starter from Triple A Norfolk. I think he might have made it 4 innings. Brandon Hyde has a quick hook, and he mows through these pitches. No wonder these pitchers' arms and elbows and shoulders are not lasting. They should be lasting longer, I think, because he is quick to take you out the game. But nonetheless, at least almost 50% of the games in which the Orioles have played, the starters haven't been able to go past 5 innings. And if you're just looking at the past off season, they failed to resign their best pitcher, Burns, Corbin Burns. He went to Arizona. They believe it was just, although he's from Arizona, Scottsdale. I think the Orioles offered more money, but less years. He was looking for more years. He did not get that. Your second best pitcher may not pitch this season. That's Bradish, or he's not going to pitch at least until late summer. You have Rodriguez, who they got some good news today. He has another lat strain, so he's going to be on the DL extended time. Eflin, who you traded for last season from Tampa, he's on the DL. Rogers, who you traded for last year from the Marlins, he's on the DL. Wells, Tyler Wells, who's on your team, he's on the DL. He's not going to be back probably until All-Star game or after. Colton Cowser has been on the DL. Suarez is on the DL. Team's hurt. They're not hitting the ball. Um, let's go ahead and just ask the question: is the playoff window officially closing for the Orioles?
Nah, still way too early. Um,
I'm
Still way
talking
too.
about now. I know it's way too early for the season, but when we're looking at what happened last season, going into the season, I believe that they have played less than 500 baseball since July of last year, including games this year. They've been under 500. They were swept out of the playoffs. They go through long stretches where they can't hit the ball, they can't get batters out. Is this window closing? I ask you again.
Closing or closed?
Closing.
It's closing, but it's
Okay.
not closed.
All right.
I thought you said closed. It's
No,
not closed.
closing.
It's closing. It's
All right.
it, it's closing. They're not even if you. So I watched the game last night. Now to give you some additional stats, I believe in that completing more than 5 inning picture, Eflin has 3 of those, which isn't good. Eflin is also in the top of the league with his 3. I believe he's gone 3 past 6 inning. He's one of the top 10 or something in the league. But of course, he's hurt, means nothing to us. The middle of the rotation is actually, well, after these past couple games, it's probably not good. But the middle of the rotation, their ERA was under 3 going into going into this Washington series. Actually, going into the last game of the Cincinnati series, so that's probably way up now. But so they weren't pitching bad; they were just inheriting runners. So just and then the Orioles weren't hitting. If you actually watch this team, and it pissed me off yesterday. It just doesn't look like they're gelling, along with the bad pitching, along with the hitting. It's fundamental things that you're watching out there. I mentioned it, Cedric last night. Balls hit out to deep right field. Should have just been a single. Cedric does not run up to the ball. He lets the ball come to him, and then he backhands it. And once the runner sees that he's backhanded it, this guy takes two. And what does he eventually do? He scores. What else happened? They get ball Cedric's in the outfield. He should hit his cutoff. But what happens is Jackson Holiday is running the first base. Gunner ducks, thinking that Cedric is going to throw home and go after the runner. He doesn't. So the ball just goes over Gunner's head and just kind of aimlessly bounces. So the runner going to first takes second. What does he do? He scores on the next hit. So it's just small fundamental things where it's like the team is brand new. They look like they've never met each other before. Like they don't know who should be here, who should be there. So it's a lot of things like that. And I don't know if it's because they give up after after a few innings, because it does definitely look like Brandon Hyde after a few innings, like last night it looks like he's just sitting there like, you know what? I might as well just let him stay in the game as long as I can because I'm just going to take a flyer on this game and look towards the next day. Well, you can't keep doing that. You're playing under 500 baseball right now. You can't keep doing that. You something's got to click. And well, I know what you think has to click. And I may be on that. I may be getting close to that also.
I think I said it last week. I don't think Brandon Hyde makes it through the season. Um, the pitching is going to be their death knell this year, and the hitting is coming right along with it. You were teasing me Saturday because I had my Jackson Holiday T-shirt on, and last week I was talking about should we get rid of Jackson Holiday, or is he a bust? And he's okay, but the whole team is struggling. I mean, when
Everyone.
we went to the game, I think the 3 through 5 hitters were all over that game. I think the O'Neill pickup. I'm not outside of him hitting that home run on opening day, and he hit one when we were at the park on Saturday. I mean, he's okay. Um,
He's not Santander.
yeah, he's not Santander. And I agree with you. I think the defense, particularly up the middle of the field, I don't think Gunner is a great shortstop. I don't think
I
Jackson,
don't either.
yeah, I don't think Jackson Holiday is a great second baseman.
I don't either.
Defensively, they are leave a lot to be desired. I think they're okay at third base. But with that rotation with Westberg and oh my God, why I'm drawing a blank on that other third baseman, 29. But anyway, nonetheless, you know,
Urias.
yeah, Urias. And so they're okay defensively. It's just said he makes some good plays, and then there are times where it's like, what is said doing? And I
Said is the only one hitting. Well, he's the only one getting on base.
right.
I'll say that.
Right. Rushman, he can't throw anybody out. I haven't seen him yet this season throw any runners out, trying attempting steals. Yeah, it's closing. The window's closing.
And
I think
Adley struggling at
right,
the plate.
and I think they're waiting. All right, you have some of these bargaining chips. I think last year they had bargaining chips where they could have really went out and got a good frontline pitcher. They could have got a Tariq Subal. They could have went and got a couple other players that are good. They could have really went and got a good back. They gave us
They got
Elroy
Eflin.
Jimenez.
They got Eflin. Eflin wasn't bad. Eflin's not
Eflin's good, but they didn't get. We needed a bat, and they didn't go out and get a bat.
good. Yeah, they did not.
And they could have really got a frontline starter. I mean, because Burns was really a 1 year guy. You traded one of your top prospects for Burns, who was on a 1 year deal, and then you let Burns walk. because you knew you're going to have to. He was a what's the face client. You knew you're going to have to overpay him. A Scott Burris client, so you knew you're going to have to overpay him.
And then you get Charlie Morton. I don't
Yeah,
even know how Morton is still on the team right now.
Charlie Morton is 60. I
He's
know he got.
he's 0-5. He should have been DFA'd the moment
Yeah,
they pulled him out of the game on Sunday. He
I
should have
think
been DFA'd.
I think he played with Jim Palmer. I'm not quite sure. And Hasatashi, um, he's probably older than we think. We don't know we don't know what the birth certificate say for Hasatachi. They say he in his 40s, but Hasatachi might be 62.
I think he was, if I remember correctly, and I'll have to go back and watch it to see the credits, but I think he was a stand-in in Karate Kid 1 and 2.
I saw him in a Sonny Chiba movie. That's how far I go back with him. I think I saw him in Chinese Connection with Bruce Lee. He was one of the guys in the karate school.
You're so racist.
They killed Masa for rice cakes.
You are so
That
racist.
is not racist. It might be bigoted, but it is not racist. So
I think he was one of the 3 guys in The Last Dragon. Remember the 3 shiny?
look at you. He talking about me. I think I saw him in Game of Death. I think he fought Bruce Lee, or he was in the floor above. No, he was in the floor above Kareem. You know that fight scene where Kareem when Bruce Lee goes up to 3 levels. And he fought Bruce Lee he fought Kareem at 1 level, and then he went up to the next level. Yeah, I think he was on one of those 3 floors.
It was fun while it lasted, y'all. This will be our last podcast. The FCC. Well, with the way the government is going now, they'll probably push us to the top.
Right.
What we're saying.
We might get a whole new MAGA audience. Don't play now. Do not play. And so yeah. Or I think the window's closing. I do, because they really did not. You said it Saturday. They did not prioritize pitching, and I think that was the most important thing they needed to do for this team. They got bats. I think bats will eventually wake up, but you got to get people out, and they cannot get people out. They can get a lead in the game. It had same thing happened last year. That was their downfall last year. They would get leads, and then they would come back an inning or 2 later, and they would give up the lead. And so it's tough to keep on always battling back. And right now, they're not even battling back; they're just losing. They're just staking these teams to 2-0, 3-0 leads after the first inning.
The saving grace right now is that they haven't played many AL East games. So they still got a lot of
that.
Yeah, they still got a lot of AL East games coming up, and if they can somehow wake those bats up, they got the Yankees coming in next week.
Right.
If they can somehow wake these bats up, they can start gaining up on the division, or at least go slightly above 500.
Well, they did play Toronto, and they played the Blue Jays, and
yeah, that was it though. They haven't, they haven't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, just they played 2 of the 5 teams. I mean, and I think they come out with a losing record against both of those teams. I want to see what the Yankees do.
Well, they didn't at the beginning of the season. They went.
Well, I mean, they split that 4-game series, but then Toronto came here, and I think they took 2 or 3 here, and Boston took 2 or 3. Yeah, so.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see what happens, but yeah, I don't think Hyde makes it through the year unless something drastically turns around. These pitchers come back and they all turn into the second coming of Sandy Koufax. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this team.
Orioles going to the World Series this year.
No, they ain't going.
I want to be on record to say that. So when it happens, I like to pull the receipt.
They're not even going to the wild card.
Pull the receipt on you.
All right, you pull that. Yeah. Pull that receipt. Man, let's talk a little NBA real quick. It's been a lot of first round blowout games, but your Lakers, they won a tough game last night to even the series 1-1 versus the T-Wolves. There was a fact that was shared on the broadcast. A LeBron team has never gone down 2-0 in any playoff series. And so LeBron, although he's not playing his best, they need to thank God for Luka, because if this was just LeBron and street clothes, he wouldn't be playing by now. Street clothes would have been injured. They might have some problems on their hand because LeBron, he ain't catching no alley oops. He barely making layups. It's Luka that's really putting it on them. But what's your thoughts about the series so far?
First of all, let me just say, and I'm moving on to Luca, but let me just say, y'all give Anthony Davis a hard time during the regular season, but he is a playoff player. The last 2 years in the playoffs, Anthony Davis has been the one keeping them above water. They made it to the NBA Western Finals because of Anthony Davis. And then he ran into your boy.
Then he ran
Uh
into Joker.
yeah, then he ran into your boy. But Anthony Davis was holding his own in these playoffs.
What he do
Even
this
last
year?
season.
What he
Even
do this
last
year?
season. He don't play with the Lakers no more. So I don't give a
Mm,
goddamn what he did with the
yeah, he
Mavs.
had that one
Mavs.
good bubble playoff, and that was good for him because they ain't play
Oh
half the
man,
season.
he had
That bubble
he's
championship, which is a fake
and,
championship,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
the bubble championship, that's the fraud.
First of all, it's the most difficult championship ever
Oh,
in the
there you go
history of
with that crap.
sports.
That is the most bogus
Most difficult.
fugazi.
Anyway, moving on. So I
Anyway,
got my Lakers. That was a wake up call for them because not only did they lose to the Timberwolves, they got their asses whipped. They got beat so bad
they
that
did.
my boy what's
They
his
put
face?
Bronny in.
My boy what's his face was talking shit to Laker fan. He got fined $50,000
Yeah.
for running his mouth,
Hmm.
telling them about his dick.
Right. They put Bronny in. It was so bad. It was like LeBron James. LeBron James.
I think it woke my Lakers up. Like just like
Yeah.
like my man Shannon say, like my man Shannon say, uh, suing me, booing me. I don't care what you're doing to me. Lakers in 5.
Y'all heard it here first. OKC, they've been beating up on the Grizzlies like they stole something. Oh my lord, they got the belt off, belt the ass on this series.
Where the grenades and the guns? Where the grenades
Right.
and guns, Ja?
I don't see Ja doing nothing.
Where the grenades and the guns? Where
Ja ain't
that at?
doing nothing on this one. They
Ja,
beat
Ja better put the home jersey on a stick and wave the white flag.
they beat them like Joe Jackson beat Michael.
He only got 2 letters in his first name. By the time they finish, they just gonna be calling him Morant. He ain't even gonna have them letters no more.
They they beat them like Adrian Peterson used to beat his son with a switch.
So, now
Bro, he did used to beat his son. That's not a lie. That's
you ain't
facts.
got now you done traumatized. You know that young man listened to the podcast. You done traumatized.
I'm sorry, Adrian Peterson
Now
Jr.
y'all somewhere punching the air. I hate you, Daddy. I hate you, man.
Your daddy was getting a switch. Sent you outside to get a switch. That's what the OKC they said John them outside. Go get a switch now.
Yeah,
And it better be a real switch. Because if it ain't a switch, I'm gonna go out there and get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Memphis is going to take one.
They ain't
Every
taking
series
nothing.
you figure the team's going to get at least one.
No.
I don't think they're going to take
No.
one. They go back home for the next.
Yeah, they go back home for the next one. I think they play Wednesday or well, today's Wednesday. I think they play Friday, and so yeah, they got a couple days to rest up to get another beating. And the Pacers, they up on our boy Giannis. I work hard to get to the playoffs. I mean, it's the playoffs. I know I sound like Mandela, but your boy Giannis, they getting all strung out and whatnot. Dame Dollar try to come back talking stuff. You got Halliburton putting it on them and stuff. Pacers, they up 2-0. It's another Doc Rivers type of coaching situation. Doc, he got that one championship, but Doc is good for a sweep.
First of all, Dame Dollar is old. Like I don't even think I don't even think the dollar
What
is
he
hitting
what
like it
he
used to be.
right? What he Dame 10 cent now? He what he a dime dollar?
They
Dame
literally need to
Dame
call
dime.
him. Literally need to call him Dame trying to make $1 out of 15 cents because he old. Giannis is looking for his next team He's been
Yeah.
looking for his next team for the past 2 seasons, so I don't
Yeah.
even think his heart is in it. And I hate to
Yeah.
call him out like that, but
Yeah, I think Kyle Kuzma, he on that team somewhere. He on the milk carton.
Kyle Kuzma
He
played
played
what?
one of the game, didn't score no points. He played like
I
20
mean,
plus minutes.
only stat he put up was the minutes. He had no points, no rebounds, no assists. I don't need the. At least he ain't had no turnovers either. But he had nothing.
I thought he was still on the Wizards. When they showed this stat, I was like, oh, he on the Bucks?
They should have played old Eddie Murphy Raw when Kyle Kuzma comes out. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta get something. That's why the motherfucker
he
punch
will
you in the
be
mouth.
he will be Eddie Murphy father. Lillian.
Ba-da-da-da-da-ding. Ba-da-da-da-da-ding. You hear that? You hear that? You hear that? Ba-da-da-da-da-ding.
It's my house. Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, and of course our team Golden State went snuck one
Yeah, man.
out down in Houston, rolling with them, sipping syrup, and so now we'll see what happens
I
tonight.
need I need Golden State to lose this series.
Why?
Uh, so the Lakers can face the Rockets. I don't wait a minute. Let me look. Who would the Lakers have to see
I
if
did. They would have to see the winner of the Rockets Houston. I'm serious.
no. Lakers are the number 3. They would have to see because if the Thunder win, the Warriors would go to they play the Thunder because that would be the 1-7 match.
No. Lakers 3-6. The winner of the 3-6 faces the winner of the 2-7. I'm looking at the
They
bracket
don't
right
do
now.
high. They don't do high seeds.
No, three three
You sure
six.
about that?
I'm positive.
Why
The
that's
winner,
where they wait. Okay,
the
well,
winner of the 3-6 faces the
maybe I'm
winner of the
just
two
thinking foot.
seven.
Maybe I'm thinking football.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
thinking football.
yeah. You think of football, but yeah, because the Grizzlies they win that they face the winner of the 4-5, and so the Lakers if they're in the
Okay.
3-6,
Well, then I
whoever
don't care.
wins the 3-6 face
I don't,
the 2-7.
I don't care. But I'd still rather play the Rockets than Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Steph Curry in the playoffs. I don't.
Rockets that the thing that Golden State has is experience, and you could tell that in the first game. You got especially with Steph, and you got Draymond, and of course Butler, all playoff tested, championship tested. I like the YNs on Houston, but that's just what they are. They YNs, and so we'll see what happens with that. All right, man, it's time for a special Garland's Music Corner. Haven't done this in a while. And so it kind of jogged my memory because I was on the internet the other day and I realized that my man, Prince Rogers Nelson, passed away on April the 21st, 2016. Wow, about 9 years ago. And so Prince's music was a big influence. I was a big Prince fan growing up. And so I'm going to give some of my Prince favorites. My favorite Prince album is Sign of the Times.
Okay.
I like Sign of the Times. That was my favorite Prince album. My first time seeing Prince live was when I was in college, my senior year. He was on tour for an album, the Love Sexy album. It was a horrible album. I think the only song that was on there was When Two Was in Love, was probably the hit song on that album. I actually slept outside for Prince tickets. I had a girlfriend who was a real big Prince fan, and you do anything for pussy. And I slept outside for
Oh
Prince
God.
tickets.
God damn! Don't pull no punches over here.
I mean, what, Calvin? You say shit and goddamn all over the podcast. I just say a little thing about pussy.
But I ain't never said pussy.
I'm sorry, a little vag. How about that? so yeah, my first time seeing Prince live was at the Hampton Coliseum. Of course, the best Prince movie is Purple Rain. Um, and the worst movie was Under the Cherry Moon. That was a horrible movie.
With
Him
Tricky.
and Jerome, yeah, Tricky and Christopher Tracy running around France being gigolos. Uh, Prince put out a lot of B sides. Some of his B sides were very popular. I have two favorite B-sides. How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore? That's one of my favorite B-sides, as well as She's Always in My Hair. I think Alicia Keys did How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore. She
Mhm.
did as a remake, but She's Always in My Hair. That's one of my favorite. My favorite Prince remake was Shaka Khan, I Feel For You. A lot of people don't realize that's a Prince song that was on, I think, the first album. My favorite side group. Prince had a lot of side groups. These groups represented allegedly his personalities and the time. The time was the R&B representation of Prince, and so 777 The Walk, the Bird, their role in the movie Purple Rain. Just a lot of great influence out of the time. As a matter of fact, if you go back and listen to that first time album, it's basically Prince singing all the background vocals and Morris Day singing the leads. And so Prince's voice is all over that album. Another side project that Prince did, he did a couple of side projects. He had a jazz group called Madhouse, and he had an album called Six. So if you ever get a chance, check that out. Madhouse Six, a couple jazz things. I think he's playing piano on that, and you got Eric Leeds, who played with James Brown, playing the sax. A couple other people on that Madhouse Six. That's one of my favorite side projects from Prince. I think as a hip hop head, the best samples that people have used of Prince songs was "Let's Go Crazy," which was used by Public Enemy, and Brothers Are Gonna Work It Out. And the song is playing in the background right now. Alphabet Street was used by Arrested Development for the song Tennessee. Tennessee, Tennessee. That was actually from Alphabet Street that was on that Love Sexy album. And so those are some of my favorite Prince songs and things that I like. I have one funny Prince memory. When I was in high school, I believe, was teenager. My uncle, who I'm very close with, I saw him for Easter. We went over there, had some dinner, hung out. Um, One day he was talking to me about one of his other nephews, and he was talking about Garland. This boy, he walking around. He got all these safety pins on his jacket, which used to be the style in Baltimore. It's like a punk rock style. You put safety pins in your jean jacket. And he got all these buttons on his jacket, all these buttons. That was a style too. You used to put buttons, had little sayings or pictures on your jacket too. He said, and he got the nerve to have a button that has a picture of Little Richard on his jacket. Why does he have a button of Little Richard? And I start laughing, and I said, that's not Little Richard. I said, that's this guy named Prince. He makes a lot of music, probably some music you don't want us to listen to, but yeah, it's not Little Richard. It's this guy named Prince. And so yeah, man, Prince used to rock out with him. I know you saw him his last concert here in Baltimore.
No, not the last one. Well, his last concert here in Baltimore was during the
Freddie Gray.
uprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see. I wasn't there
Okay.
for that concert. When I saw him, he was doing his classics. That's when he was on his classics tour. Right
Okay.
before he changed his
Where he was
name
just doing the
to
piano.
Simple.
Oh,
No,
this
no,
was
no.
way before that. So
Yeah,
this was before he
yeah,
changed his name to
yeah.
the
It
symbol.
was it
Okay.
was once he started, he knew he was going to lose the rights to his music.
Okay.
And he did that tour where he was just doing his classics. That's the only time
Right.
I seen him, and I'm glad I got to see him. I actually that was my first adult date concert. I remember I
Oh
wore a
wow.
sports coat and everything. Took this little chick, and she was
little
happy.
little hottie.
And I got some pussy.
Don't say it loud.
But no, so I picked up Prince uh right around, well, not right around. I picked up Prince at his 1999 album. So I'm
Okay.
a big fan of Little Red Corvette.
You were in
Um
middle school when that came out.
yeah, I'm a big
Mm-hmm.
fan of Little Red Corvette. My favorite
Yeah.
Prince song is When Doves Cry. I'm a
Yes.
huge Purple Rain. Purple Rain is my top 3 movie of all time.
Yes.
That's an album that I can listen to cover to cover, front and back,
Mm-hmm.
and not be disappointed. Um, I do like some of the latest stuff like Raspberry Beret.
Yes.
We started getting into Diamonds and Pearls. I'm into that.
Yes.
Then I started, when I became a little bit more of a fan, then I started picking up some of the music prior to 1999. Some of the
Right.
more, I guess 1999, I would consider
Yeah.
more being pop or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but when he
controversy.
that R&B music, that's when I started picking up a lot more of that when I got older. But yeah, I'm a big Prince fan. Speaking of Mars Day, there's a thing that just started on the internet. I don't know if it's going to get some legs, but they're talking about they need to sue Bruno Mars for trying to steal Mars Day style. And once they said it, I was like,
yeah, he's just stole everybody's style.
I could see that. I could see that.
He's a human chameleon.
The Prince stories are legendary. I'm sure we've all seen the Dave Chappelle's, but
Of
every
course.
now and then you'll hear some artists talk about different things that Prince has done, and it's just amazing how confident he was. His kind of battle with Michael Jackson, or I'll say more of Michael Jackson's kind of battle for supremacy with Prince, because it didn't seem like it was really a battle, but they both wanted to be on top. But yeah, man, good shit.
I got a Prince book around here, as well as there was supposed to be a documentary that's supposed to come out on Netflix that was done by the same guy that did the OJ Made in America documentary. And Prince's estate threatened to sue Netflix over the documentary. They had first refusal rights, and they could review the film, and they did like several hours of it, and they turned it to the family, and the family said no, this would make people stop buying. Prince would be canceled if this movie came out. And so they effectively fought it, and Netflix has decided they're not going to. As a matter of fact, there's been a couple of podcasts about the fact that this is probably the best movie that no one's ever going to see.
Well, eventually it'll come out. We may not be around when it does.
Right.
The Ravens do go to Minnesota this year, and I know that's one of the things that we talked about. We wanted to see, depending on the weather. But I would definitely want to go. I definitely need to take a trip to Minnesota because I do want to see Paisley Park.
I don't want to go in the dead of winter. But I mean, there is an indoor stadium, but definitely
still,
don't want to.
You got to get there.
You got to get there. So you're right. And so we've come to a point in the show that everybody loves. Come on, yo. You want to go ahead and hit the people with your come on, yo?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them. Because I had something else, but Garland reminded me that I'm gonna get them. And this leads me right back to my Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens. Come on, yo. Last year, you had a draft party that you invited people to, paid about $25 a ticket with taxes and fees. It's always going to come to $30-something. I don't know why you just don't include the taxes and fees in the prices, but that's another come on, yo, for another fucking day. But for today, Baltimore Ravens, last year, the draft party was amazing. Got 2 drink tickets. You wanted some more drink tickets. That's fine. All the other refreshments were free. The food was free. It was at a restaurant. They had a pizza station. They had your hot dogs and hamburger station. They had a carving station. They had plenty of food all over the place, everywhere for free. So this year, when the tickets pop up, I was like, let me see if my man Garland want to go before they sell out the tickets. So I bought 4 tickets. Like, Garland, you want to buy 2 of these tickets? Garland, like, yeah, I'm telling Garland we had a good time. It was a long day, but it's free food, giveaways, and everything. Cakes, desserts, all kinds of shit. So they sent out the for you to know shit, the FYI shit, and it say we're gonna give you 6 drink tickets for 6 sample drinks, sample beers or something, and then 2 food tickets for Wisconsin inspired food, and other refreshments and food will be there to purchase. Come on, yo. Come on, Ravens. You don't make enough fucking money? What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? So now we got to pay. Not only do we have to wait for you to draft the motherfucker, but now we got to pay when we go to the draft party and sit there all day. Come on, Ravens. You know what, Ravens? Let me say this right now. Whoever thought of this for the Ravens, because we did say pussy, but y'all can suck my. You know what? Come on.
All right.
Come on, Ravens.
The views expressed on this show, not necessarily the views of management.
And whatever part y'all don't suck, Baltimore Orioles. What's the wrestler that used to do this?
I forget. Yeah, I know who you talking about.
That was that. I stopped watching wrestling, but I remember all the kids used to go around doing
Yeah,
that.
I'm old. It was all Ric Flair and the Four
I'm
Horsemen for me.
I'm Ric Flair, the Road Warriors, Macho Man Savage. That's my favorite wrestler of all
Right.
time, Randy Macho Man.
Yeah, when I was in college, we got the NWA when we were down in Virginia, so we
Oh,
didn't
so you
get.
had the Road Warriors.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got the Four Horsemen. We got Ric Flair. We got Tully Blanchard. We got oh my God, who? Why am I forgetting my man? His son wrestled in the WW. Dusty
Dusty
Rhodes.
The
Yeah, we got
American
Dusty
Dream,
Rhodes.
baby. Dusty
Yeah,
Rhodes. The American,
Dusty Rhodes,
you know, they
baby.
said Dusty Rhodes was an amazing basketball player.
Wow, that's
All the
crazy.
stories are that Dusty Rhodes could
This
rock,
is
could play that rock.
Dusty Rhodes
The
right
American
here.
Dream, baby. Dusty Rhodes.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about me. My man, my junior year, my roommate was a DJ, and so he used to make mixtapes. And so in the mixtapes, we used to imitate Dusty Rhodes. Like Dusty Rhodes was doing a drop for him. Like, listen, baby, whenever I'm in Hampton, I listen to my man DJ Mix. Woo! Yeah, fun times when you high and drunk. All right, come on, yo, come on, Major League Baseball and Frank Robinson Day. If you don't realize, every year Major League Baseball they celebrate a day. Uh, the 15th of April is usually recognized as the day that Frank Robinson.
Jackie.
I'm said Frank Jesus. I got Frank written down on my paper, clear as day. Jackie. Come on, yo, Garland. Get the names right. Get the other Robinson right. Jackie Robinson Day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, yo. Jackie Robinson Day. Yeah, Major League Baseball, the 15th of April, they celebrate Jackie Robinson Day. Jackie Robinson, as you know, broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball in April, playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. But it's wild, Calvin, because I don't know if Jackie Robinson would identify himself with Major League Baseball today. Major League Baseball, they have backtracked on their diversity and equity efforts because of Donald Trump. They've removed all that information from their website, and they've walked back on creating opportunities for diversity and equity in the league where it's really needed. We particularly don't have a lot of black youth playing baseball in our inner cities, and Major League Baseball is pulling back on a lot of its efforts to get people into executive positions and leadership positions in baseball. Something that Jackie Robinson was a big advocate of all the way up to his death. As a matter of fact, when he threw out the first pitch at one of the World Series games, he said that, it'd be great one day to see a black man coaching on third base. That's where the manager used to coach. And, he eventually saw Frank Robinson do that, but, well, he didn't see it, but eventually Frank Robinson did. And so Jackie Robinson, he wouldn't have went to the White House with Major League Baseball with the Dodgers. Can you imagine that the Dodgers actually went to the White House to be recognized by Donald Trump for winning the World Series last year? Jackie Robinson never would have went to the White House. Sorry, Mookie Betts. I don't care what the team wants to do. He never would have went there. Dave Roberts and the other players of color on that team. And so it's a shame, really. It's just something to sell a 42 jersey and to talk about, we care about, black people and the contributions that Jackie made to the game. But Jackie was more than just the game, my friend. Jackie was what they said in the documentary Baseball, Buck O'Neill. He said Jackie was a race man. Yeah, Jackie cared about race. Jackie cared about politics. He cared about fairness and equal treatment and opportunities for black people. Jackie did all that. And so Major League Baseball, you're soiling the name of Jackie Robinson. Stop doing this day. It doesn't make a difference because you're not really fighting for equality and diversity and all the things that Jackie Robinson stood up for. You're basically letting a bully, a thug, tell you what to do. And so, come on, yo. Let's start holding these entities accountable. Let's start standing up for what the person really stood for. And so I'm off my soapbox now.
If the Trump administration has its way, Jackie Robinson's records will be erased from baseball because
Right.
there's not supposed to be any mention of any type of minority accomplishments now.
Right. They took him off the website, off the Department of Defense website. Jackie helped integrate one of the base. He was a person. He did this before the bus boycott in Birmingham. Jackie integrated transportation on one of the bases when he refused to move to the back of the bus in Texas, and when he was in the military and got court-martialed for it. Jackie Robinson was a trailblazer. He was a race man, but y'all have tried to erase the contributions of Jackie, and then you go to the White House and you accept the congratulations from a man who is trying to make others forget about the legacy of Jackie Robinson. It's a travesty.
Shout out to Harvard for denying,
Mm-hmm.
calling out uh, the Trump administration for what they were trying to get them to silence, and also took it another step and has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for that shit. So,
Right.
anyway,
Hey man, 2 weeks in a row, son.
Hey, hey Jay, I know, son. We'll be back next week too. We got you, yo.
2 weeks in a row, son.
Got you.
Don't play.
Y'all don't know how to handle yourselves now. Y'all hitting all this information. Y'all thought y'all get some information and then chill on us for a while. No, we coming back, and before you know it, we'll be back again. Hey man, let me hit this outro so I can go get me something.
Right.
I'm starving like a motherfucker. Here, let me hit this outro.
You.
Wife just getting home. Shit, I seen that the camera.
You have been listening to
The
B.I.G
landlord already
Show.
eat your food.
This show was produced and written by Calvin Coates and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Productions. Follow us on all of your podcast media platforms.
And the corn, he ain't want no more hot dog.
He playing games. You better leave them bush beans alone.
All right, man. I'll holler at you.
Peace, bro. See you tomorrow.
See you then.